I think this is a famous boat from the Jester Challenge. Look at that. And look at that wind vane. China blue. And of course the most beautiful boat, Patricia.
Been in Bayona 2 days now, had a bit of rest. I thought I'd be sleeping all the time, but I still can't really sleep. Restless. It's been nice here, but I find it very strange everybody wearing masks. And everybody seems used to it, you know. But the world changes, and this is what we have now, and yeah. The powers that shouldn't be having their way. But who am I to complain? So hopefully tomorrow I'll be setting off. The wind seems okay, weather seems okay. Tested the engine today, it worked. It takes a long time to start, but it works. Got a bit of a problem with the other battery. It keeps dying on me. But let's hope if I just keep the solar panel out all the time, and if it's good weather all the way down the coast of Portugal, then it should be okay. Not sure how long it'll take me. I think I'll probably stop off at Tarifa just so I can be in contact with people, because I've realised people are quite concerned about me, and maybe spend a day there and then on the way to Mallorca, but that's still in the future. I just have to get out of Baiona first and then head south. It's nice walking around the town, apart from the masks and stuff. You know, I've had me coffee and me croissants, but I've realised when you're at sea, you don't have any preoccupations apart from things in the moment. And for the 25 days at sea that I had, it was just surviving. 25 days of just trying to survive. But now I think I have a bit of experience, and I'm thinking that the next sail should be a bit more relaxed, but I won't take anything for granted, because I know anything can happen at sea. So I'll stay alert, keep my watches, take care of Caricia, and she'll take care of me, and we'll have a good sail.
Well, I've left Bayona. I'm now about 30 miles southwest of Bayona, 20 miles off the Portuguese coast, heading southish. Good day sailing, good wind, getting a bit strong now, and the waves are really big, but it's been a good day. I've put the full reefs in and the sails because I think it's going to get a bit rough tonight. I've hove to so I can have something to eat, and then I'm going to head off for a few hours, a bit more south, because there's some windmills close by here and I don't want to be anywhere near them. And then I'm going to heave to. I'm going to heave to for a bit and have a couple of hours sleep if I can, watching out for the ships. Yeah, back at sea. Speak soon. Well, this morning it's becalmed again. There's a slight bit of breeze, but not enough to move me really. One knot I'm making. It's getting a bit better now, but we've had heavy waves, rolling waves like this. No wind. And the worst thing is this mist. It's clearing a lot now than it was, but I'm still getting ships looming out of here, and it's the most scariest thing for me. The mist and the ships, because I can't get out the way. You know, I'm making one knot, and they're sometimes coming 10, 15 knots. So, do what we can with a stressful day, but you know, we're all volunteers here. I'm realizing that these dead calms, and especially with the mist and that, and the flogging of the sails, it's really getting to me. I thought, you know, after the 25 days trials and tribulations, I thought this second part of the journey would be a bit different. And yesterday was a good sail, apart from the massive waves. But today has just been a nightmare. It has been a nightmare. I did put the engine on for a bit, but I can't keep using the engine because I haven't got the diesel. And so here I am, sitting once again. Really gets to me. Partly because I'm scared, because I've got no control. You know, the ships, that's one thing. Number two is I have to keep on manoeuvring the boat and everything. I can't just, you know, go downstairs and chill out. So it's just a constant watch, and I'm tired. I would really like to have a nice sail, you know, go sailing. You're catching me on one of my off moments, and I've had a tantrum again. You know, it's just expectations, you know. I shouldn't have any expectations. Like I said before, I accept everything, but sometimes I have expectations. I'm only human. And it's times like this, I just want to go home. You know, see the girls, see the dog, see the cat. Spend some time with the ones I love. We'll see. Well, I'm not sure if it's because I throw a little hissy tantrum, but after my last post, the wind came. It's only a little bit, but you know, I don't need a lot. It's enough to keep us moving. As long as we're moving, I'm happy, yeah? And so we're moving. This is keeping the sun, it's getting hot. The mist has gone as well, and the sun's come through. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening, but it's still hot. And I don't know if you saw the blue cap I had. Well, that went overboard as well. The boom banged me head, and the cap fell off. Luckily the cap was a hard cap, like one of them protection things, safety cap, but it's a shame, but it's gone. So I'm down to wearing this. I've got some woolly hats and stuff, but you know, it's not really good for the weather. So anyway, so I'm moving slowly south. And it's hot. Well, one minute I'm becalmed. Next thing I'm putting reefs in because the wind's picking up. Can't really hear it now because I'm going downwind. Waves getting a bit bigger. I think we're in for a blustery evening, which is okay as long as I can continue south. I would really like to stay up and just keep going down, but I suppose I need some sleep. We'll see.
I should eat first though. What do you think? I'm gonna have, I think I'll have an omelette tonight because I bought some fresh eggs, obviously, being in Baiona. Eggs keep well, but I'm gonna have a 4-egg omelette with some onions and maybe a bit of cheese and some spicy stuff on top. Alright, more change. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Once again, mist like pea soup and not a drop of wind to be had. As I've told you before, I don't really like this very much. I'm quite scared, obviously, again. But I've got my flare ready. I've got this ready, the horn. I've even got my PLB ready. You know, my alarm. That's all I can do. I can just sit and wait. Wait for the mist to clear. Wait for some wind. And hope that no boats pass by. There's nothing else I can do. My AIS doesn't work, it's broken, I told you, so I can't tell you if there's, I don't know if there's any boats coming. I can just hope that my little radar thing up there works. And that's it. What else can I do? I have to accept this is the situation I'm in. It's not ideal. Sails are flogging, as usual. I mean, there's exciting, and there's exciting, if you know what I mean. Well, I never thought I'd be wearing all of this foul weather gear on the coast of Portugal in August, but I am. Still covered in mist. But got a little bit of wind or breeze, and so I'm making headway and keeping a watch out, obviously. I mean, you know, there's only so much you can do, isn't there? So my nose is all burned. Well, I mean, you could say this is boring, like, you know, but it's the tension. I mean, I'm not getting much sailing done. I'm doing some steering, but it's the tension in the air you can feel from me, the fear. But of course it's controllable because you have to control your fears. I mean, there's no point me going hysterical. I did have a couple of tantrums this morning. Even a bit of tears, a bit of emotions, because I'm just realising after so long at sea, okay, I've had 3 days in Bayona, but it's not just that. I've had over 20 and nearly 30 days at sea, and before that it was March, April, May, June, July, locked up, or locked down in the marina, and because of this COVID thing, that was unexpected and a bit of a nightmare. You know, sitting there, or sitting on the boat in the marina, it was horrendous really. Met some lovely people there. Peter, Pete, Dennis, Martin, Cheryl, Steve, you know, met some good people, and some good people helped me. But the reality of it was a nightmare, and it's been so long since I've seen Laura and Juliet, and Conan and Khatula, and I miss them a lot. And I suppose that's what this trip, part of it, is about, you know. I think it makes me realise how much I care for them all. And Mary. But, you know, I could do with a cup of coffee. 1 sugar, please. The first part of the sail from the UK to Baiona, 25 days non-stop. The lack of sleep and the shock of a new environment and all the different things that were happening really have an effect on you. Well, it had an effect on me. I told you before, I could hear conversations, I could hear people having conversations, I could hear voices, I could hear dogs barking, I could hear all this different kind of stuff. But also eventually I started seeing things, not as in hallucinations, but like misplacing objects for different things. For example, the bucket. The bucket became a little girl sitting on the edge of the boat looking out to sea. Never saying anything, just staring out to sea. I called her Wendy. At the front of the boat where the dinghy is, I started to see this Oriental man, say, a martial artist, sensei kind of persona, sitting there, just staring forward, calm. He never said anything. And then next to me there, the can't remember what they're called. See what I mean? How long have I been at sea? The fenders. Yeah, the fenders. There was these two fenders. They became like it was like a sailor, French sailor. Why French? Because the fenders are blue and white, you know, and I'm stereotyping blue and white stripes and all this kind of stuff. And that, and also parts of the boat became real to me. Not real as in like the mainsail and the genoa, you know, you start refer to them as live people. And Bill and Bob, the bungees. We've lost one of them, didn't we? Can't remember which one we lost. Bill? Have we lost? No, we lost Bill. You know, and you start to talk to them and you have conversations with them. Luckily, they don't answer back. But your mind starts to play really strange things on you. And so by the end of that first part of the trip, the boat was full of crew. It was full of people, or personas, if that's the word you'd like to say, personas. And but now, this is the second part, you know, this part of the trip, 2 days out. You can't unsee things that you've seen, so the bucket's still Wendy and all of this, but they're not really here anymore, if you understand. Because I've slept more. Don't know, it's just a strange occurrences. I wish somebody would come and steer the ship though. Well, the ship, Carissa, because I'm getting tired, you know. I've hand steered this almost all of the way so far, and I'm probably going to have to hand steer it all the way to Palma. The bungees work okay, but they're getting tired, they're getting worn out, and they only work at certain points of sail. I haven't mastered the art of sheet to tiller steering yet. It is quite an art. You've got to get the sails balanced, and everything's got to be really perfect. Otherwise, you just keep having to adjust it. But it's just experience. But I'll get that. That's it anyway. I just thought I'd mention them things to you. The strangeness of being at sea for such a long time. Well, it's such a long time, you know. Long enough. Alone, that's the thing. Alone at sea. And you know you've got no one else. No one else. It's a strange feeling.
Well, I've sort of got what they call again? I can't remember what they call it. Oops, sorry, just messed up a bit there. But if I can bring the head sail back again. There we go. Don't know what you call that, but I've managed it for a little bit anyway. You have to constantly play with the rudder, or with the tiller, sorry. But it works to an extent. I could do with a bit more wind, and obviously to trim the sails properly. But just to play for a little bit, it's okay. But there's a ship on the horizon, and I don't know if it's coming my way, so I'm probably going to have to cut this a bit short and start to have a look around. Whoops, you just have to keep them balanced, as everything in life. And like I said before, I have difficulty keeping things balanced, but we'll see. It's been like this half an hour now. That other ship went away. So I can concentrate a little bit more on this, have a bit of fun. Never thought I'd be able to do this in a couple of weeks. Well, a couple of weeks. I've been at sea for how long? Oh dear. But I've never had time to actually play and practice, you know. Too busy surviving. It's such a beautiful day today. It's very hot. Bit of wind, enough to get us going. Sea state's great. There's quite a few ships around, but I'm managing to dodge them. Puts me back on schedule a bit. Schedule. Off schedule, I should say. Whatever kind of schedule that is. And Bill is actually managing to steer at the moment. And we're on a broad reach, which is really rare. It's only like 10 minutes at a time, then I have to come back up. Sometimes less. And down here, oh, it's a bit of a mess, as usual, but I'm making a little casserole for myself. A couscous casserole. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Lights, bright lights. Well, it's been a lovely day. It's been a good sail. But I've been trying to get past this TSS so I can turn south. And I'm at the entrance of it. I'm still 10 miles from it. But there's so many ships. One guy got out of the way when he turned. But the rest of them, they just continue. You know, it's like playing chicken. They know I'm going to turn eventually. Of course I am. You know, I know I'm meant to have right of way. But, you know, what can you do? Anyway, so I've still got 8 miles to go before I can turn south. And when I turn south this time, hopefully, it'll be the last of me travelling west. I should be heading south, southeast, and then once I get around to Reefer, hopefully in about 5 or 6 days, maybe a bit more, hopefully less, then I'll be heading east towards home, Mallorca, because I've realised it is my home, because it's where the people I love are. Good evening. There's clouds. Bill's been steering for quite a while now. We're going upwind. I think he must have recovered a little bit from the trauma of losing Bob. Maybe. Well, as I said in the last video, hopefully soon, maybe in 5 miles or something like that, we'll be heading south. But I might heave to for a few hours. Obviously there'll be a change in wind direction and Bill's not going to be able to steer, so I'm going to have to get a bit of rest. A couple of things. Now the first part of this voyage is over, this epic voyage. I think I want a wind vane. Yeah, I think I want a wind vane. It's all very well saying, you know, I can steer by hand and stuff, and I can, but I'm a slave to the tiller. You know, unless Bill's doing his job, I can't leave, especially if it's rough. So, you know, that entails a lot of uncomfortable actions, actually. Anyway, what else would I change? I'd have a proper dinghy. I mean, this more, the big dinghy I've got, it's nice, but it's had its day, and it keeps sinking and going down. So I need a different dinghy. Apart from that, I need to be a bit better with the food. I bought food in Bayona, and I've almost run out. I'm not very good at rationing. And I see the food and I want to eat it and eat it, and then I think, oh, I'm getting food for the next few days. But I've got enough for about 3 more days, but then I'll be back onto the basic rice and stuff. Rice and spice. Rice and spice. Because of course, with my logistics, not just logistics, my navigation skills as well, for some reason I thought it was only going to maybe take me 5 days to get down there. Because I keep forgetting that I have to sleep, and that I have to use the toilet, and I have to eat, and that sometimes the weather's not very good, sometimes there's no wind at all, and so I don't think I'm going to make it down there in 5 days. It's probably going to be 10. But that's okay. Once I get to Tarifa, I'll have the Mediterranean in front of me, and that'll be a different kind of journey, I would imagine. Mediterranean can be rough, but I am closer to shore if I need to be, even though if it's rough I prefer to be offshore. I'm contradicting myself again. I'm a bit tired, haven't slept very well. Well, haven't slept at all probably. Last night I had maybe 5 spurts of 20 minutes, and the night before that I don't think I had any. And I'm starting to hear dogs bark again. I haven't heard any people yet. But I'm just blabbering on, because really I just wanted to show you this. I won't show you the full sunset because it takes too long, people get bored, but it is beautiful colours. Just a quick one. I don't know if you can see that cloud. It's fantastic. It looks like the big head of a dragon to me. And it's got its tail stringing up behind it. 2 big ears. I don't know if you can get that in focus. But I really like that. No, it's not coming in focus, is it? Let's go and talk to the dragon. Sunshine, where are you? You don't shine on me like you used to. No, 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 sunshine. Oh, where are you?
It's so cold here without you. I'm alone here. Oh, I miss you. Sunshine, where are you? Aye. Actually, it's been sunny all day and we've been becalmed all day, and I've moved about 10 miles all day, and just now, well, it's been looming for a bit. These clouds have come and they've given me a little bit of wind, so I'm moving. But of course, behind schedule. And today I just thought, yeah, stuff it. So I just heaved to as much as I could. Couldn't really because there's no wind. And I just had little naps. There's not many ships around because they're all that way in the TSS zone. And I'm sort of in like the edge of the world kind of place. I haven't seen any ships here at all coming this way. Which is good for me. I'm just cooking soup now, vegetable soup with rice, and yummy, yummy, yummy. Because if the wind stays, I'm going to continue all night because I want to get past the second TSS zone. Because after that, I can head southeast. Mind you, it's about 45 miles away, so I doubt I'll make it, but you never know. You have to be optimistic about these things, don't you? By the way, that little number, Sunshine Song, I wrote that many years ago when I was totally insane, but I'm all better now. I want to go and see what's on the end of the rainbow, but it's a bit out of my direction. I'm not really bothered about the pot of gold. But it would be nice to see. Well, sunrise, got a bit of wind, going sort of in the right direction for us. Sea state, a bit bumpy, not too bad. Managed to get some sleep last night. As you can see from my refreshed face. And heading south-east-ish. I still think it's probably 7 days to Tarifa, but I would like it not to be. The North Atlantic experience. After the Bay of Biscay, I thought it was going to be a bit calmer, and then I got that Cabo Finisterre, I think it's called, and I got that howler of a storm, or gale. And then I had the calms, and I've had a couple of days of sort of good sail, but mostly I think here I've had the calms, which have freaked me out, as you know, especially with the mist. Woo. So the waves are a bit playful this morning. I see no ships, which is always a good thing. And I'll keep you updated. Yes, I know, I'm a heathen. I'm eating out of a saucepan. But it's very nice. It's rice, onions, leeks, potatoes, barley, and some lentils. So it's very healthy.
very nutritious, lots of it, and it'll keep me going for the day. No cordon bleu stuff here, man. Sun's out, wind's down for a change, and we're slowly making headway, maybe 3 knots, not much, but we're getting somewhere. Just don't know how long it'll take to get there. Café Shahor Imhel, or commonly known as black coffee with cardamom seeds. But I haven't got any sugar, and it's only an Nescafe. But the cardamon's real, so there you go. A bit hot. Never mind. Anyway, my hands are falling apart with all the steering on the helm. Hands on the helm, as you can see, I think. Anyway, that's okay as well. It's been a lovely day today. Waves are starting to pick up a little bit. We've had enough wind today. Well, we've had a breeze, a light breeze shall we say, but it's managed to get me about 45-50 miles so far. And I'm going to continue because I want to make up some time as usual, because I'm behind schedule, whatever schedule that is. And yeah, ding. Just turn this around so you can see my mug. Well, this is, I don't know how many days at sea now. First part was 25. I think now I've been, what day is it today? Maybe 6 days this time. Maybe we've got another 6, hopefully 5. And then, like I said before, into the Med. You feel the wind on your face, it's just... fantastic. There's no pollution. The sea is blue, 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 clear blue. You can, when you put your hands in it, you can see it's clear. Haven't seen any pollution. I've seen a couple of tins and stuff, and a container, not a big one, a little container like for cooking. Haven't seen any plastics. Haven't seen anything. It's been really nice. I've just had to dry myself. I'll explain what happened. I was on the helm as usual, you know, thinking about stuff, and the sea's okay, no clouds in the sky, not much wind, but everything's okay. It's picking up now, maybe you can hear it. But anyway, I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I heard this kind of whoosh, and I just sort of turned round, and I got a glimpse, what I can only say was a figure coming out of the water. And then all of a sudden I just felt like a hand grab the back of my jacket and pull me back and overboard. And I was going down in the water with my legs and my arms stretched out in front of me, being pulled down by this hand, by this, I don't know what. And I could see the hull of Carissa disappearing as I was being drawn deeper and deeper into the water. And yet
I wasn't really panicking, and I didn't need to breathe. I didn't seem to need to breathe. And as I was being pulled down and down and down and down, I sort of felt quite relaxed. And it got darker and darker. And the next thing, I've got a splash. And I'm back on board the boat. And I'm covered in water. Where a big wave, I think, is, or not a big wave, a wave is splashed over the overboard. So I've dried myself and sort of calmed myself a little bit, and I have to go back out. The lights aren't on really because you know, it's night time, and I need to be able to see it when I go outside. So that was an occurrence. It was, you know, more like it was, you know, I'd probably fallen asleep or something like that, you know. But aye, who knows? Well, I never. I was reading in this book. I'll put the links down below. And sheet distiller steering for a broad or beam reach. It's been like this for, well, not so long, but seems to be keeping its course. It's very light winds. So I've lashed the Genoa, the sheet, to the tiller with a little bungee on one side. Goes to a pulley here, back across to another pulley, then direct up, you can't see, but to the Genoa. And it's kept its course 180 true, sorry, magnetic, but true as in, you know, well done. Let's see if we can keep this up, then at least maybe I can have a rest, because I'm a bit shattered. Gloriously hot summer's day, hardly any wind, flat seas. I see no ships. The significance of this for me cannot be overestimated, because now I'm free to wander around. I can actually walk around after how many days? I don't know, you know, over a month. Sometimes I'm so stupid, it takes me so long. I mean, I've had that book for ages, and sometimes I'm just a bit of a mess, you know, and I can't get myself sorted. But here we are. Now I'm forward, and I can sit and relax for a bit. I mean, I don't think it'll work in heavy winds, but that's not really the point, because in heavy winds I like steering, it's good fun. It's just on mad days like this, when there's nothing and I have to sit on the tiller all day, it just drives me insane, to tell you the truth. And this morning I had another tantrum. The demons came to get me this morning, my demons. But I just have to control them, you know. But sometimes it's quite difficult. Anyway, got my special shades on, stop my nose getting burnt. Let's have a look at the view from forward. I can actually go all the way forward, and we can, I mean, it's not very pretty with the big dinghy there, but you know, here is Carisia. Sails and all. And we're going that way. I thought I'd eat midships today, sitting on the cabin, because I've had most of the day off.
because Bill the Bungee and his friend the Genoa Sheet, haven't got a name for that yet, he's been doing most of the steering. I'm going to have to take over this evening though, because it does have a habit of going a bit off course and not so good if I'm close to the shipping lanes. This is my dinner tonight: potatoes, rice, onions, lentils and a couple of fried eggs. Yeah, I know, but needs must, you know. I ran out of money and now I'm running out of food, but all's good. This is the view for me dinner. Hello again. I don't know if I'm shouting, I'm trying not to, but it's a bit windy. Yes, we've got some wind. I don't know if I'm going to stay on this course this evening. I might move a bit further out because the shipping lane's very busy over that side, and I don't like being amongst the other ships. So we'll see. But I'll speak to you soon because I'm going to have me dinner. Alright. Evening tea forward. On the pulpit, I think they call it. It's called the forecastle in the Navy in the good old days. Well, I know I've burnt my face again. Keep putting this oil on and lavender and stuff and try and stop it. But, you know, it's hot. I don't know if you can hear me very well because of the wind, so I'm speaking quite loud. Sorry if it disturbs you. I'm getting around today, aren't I? Getting all over the boat. I tell you, it makes such a difference. I'm so stupid. Anyway, this evening we should arrive at the last TSS, the shipping lane in Portugal. And once past that, that'll probably be tomorrow night. I might get past that if the wind stays the same. Then it's a straight run to Tarifa. I've been thinking a lot about some of the strange things that have happened with me while I've been on board here, and especially about the objects that turn into personas. I think they all seem to be quite stereotypical. The martial artist is all serene, calm, and I think if you had a conversation, you'd be very knowledgeable, wise, and I think that's a part of my character. Then there's Wendy, who's a bit withdrawn and thoughtful, I think, a bit morose, probably depressive. It's a bit like me as well. Then you've got all the other ones that I've met. And I don't know if I told you about the pigeon. It was near the beginning of the journey. I think about 5 days in, I can't really remember. I'll have to look at the logbook. But a pigeon flew onto Carissa in the middle of the sea. I saw this pigeon flying around, and it sort of crash landed a bit in the sea and then flew off and landed on the boat. I'm sure I've told you, if not, forgive me. Anyway, it came, landed, and promptly said hello with a French accent. His name was Francois, and he told me that he'd come from Paris and that he was in a race and that he was just having a rest because it was a long race. And he saw my boat and he thought, that'll do. He had a French accent, obviously. So now I know he didn't really have a conversation with the pigeon. Well, I did, but it was in my head. I'm sure the pigeon wasn't talking to me. That was another aspect, because the pigeon was quite adventurous. And I know, if you knew me or know me, you'll know that I've had quite a few adventures in my life. And there's been many other strange things happening, which I won't get into now, but I will put them in the book, because I am going to write a book. Because it's been such a strange experience so far. Not just, you know, going on a 2,500 mile sail after 5 days of training, but the whole thing leading up to it and everything. That's if I make it, of course. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to make this. Anything can happen. You know, I could get sick, I could get injured, I could fall overboard, I could hit a container, a whale could eat me. Anything can happen. I might get scared and have enough. Who knows what's going to happen? But if I do finish it, I'm going to write the book. Had me dinner this evening, same as before, as you saw, except with eggs. And I'm going to have my pudding now, which is porridge oats with cocoa powder and some jam. Well, here we go again. I'm sure you've seen the movie Dead Calm. Well, here we are. I'm running out of battery in my video camera at the minute, and there seems to be a problem with the battery on the boat. Another benefit of the shoot-to-tiller steering is that I can sit inside and have a coffee. Luxury. And also I don't have to sit outside there and get burnt to death, because it is blisteringly hot. It's hot in here, but out there, whew, still not much wind. Maybe, you know, I'm getting about 2 knots, 2.5 knots of speed, which is okay for the type of conditions we're in, you know. Also, my hands were getting, like, they were just disintegrating, and I think that's a lot because the tiller, I had my hands on the tiller all the time, and the salt on the tiller, and my hands always getting wet, and so I keep putting oil on, and that's making a big improvement. As I said in the other video, I think I've lost so much weight. I've lost so much weight. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's not as though I can stuff my face. I've got some potatoes, I've got some onions, I've got some oats. I've got a few, 3 or 4 tins of meatballs. And that's about it. So the sooner I get into Tarifa, the better. And I'll try and stock up properly so that I don't starve myself. And also that I get enough water. Because I'm just not very good at this part of the organisational logistics. Yeah. I like to just go and do stuff, but I don't really think too much about it. You know, it's only after or during that I start to think, oh dear, I should have done that. Anyway, I'm not going to waffle on. I just wanted to tell you I'm having a nice cup of coffee, and hopefully this evening the wind might come up. If not, I might have to start the engine because the battery, the number 2 battery, isn't recharging very well, and so I might have to do that. But we'll see, because the solar panel's out and it's working. Apart from that, I think I've been at sea this time. Is it Monday today? So it's my 7th day for part 2. See you in a bit. Well, as you know, it's been becalmed all day today. Managed to get a little bit of wind, well, breeze, and so with the shoot-to-tiller steering I managed to get actually 20 miles, which, you know, considering there's no wind, it's not bad. That's including the current. Then this afternoon the wind piped up a little bit,
and we made quite a good headway. But clear skies, everything was still quite calm, and so I thought, okay, so I'll keep the full sails up. Then of course, as soon as I decided to keep the full sails up, the wind started to pick up, and it was getting about 9 o'clock at night. So I thought, okay, let's put a reef in. So I put a reef in the mainsail, shortened the genoa a little bit, and I thought, okay, set all that up, put the sheet to tiller steering on again, and then as I'm relaxing a little bit, big black clouds coming. So I'm like, okay, so now we might have I don't know what's going to go on. It might be nothing, it might just pass, or it could be action stations, which means maybe even sail down. So I've got my foul weather gear out again, which I never thought I'd need again. I got my wellies out again, which I never thought I'd need again, and my life jacket. So I'm just hanging around. It's 10:30 p.m. and I'm just waiting to see what will happen. I don't want to go to action stations tonight. I'd like to just chill out, you know. But I had a rest today, relaxed most of the day, was hardly on the helm, so who am I to complain? Bill the Bungie's doing all the work. Yeah.
Well, Carissa steered herself again last night, all night, and didn't have to make any adjustments. And even though the weather was increasing in wind and the waves, everything was fine. Still the same setup. This is for a broad or beam reach. Bungee one side, attached to, what I've done now is I've actually changed the line. I'm not using the Genoa sheet. What I've done is I've attached this line with the rolling hitch to the Genoa sheet, and I've loosened the Genoa sheet, and I think this is a safer option if I need to let go quickly, because I can pull in on the Genoa sheet, take control of the Genoa, and I can loosen off this line. So that's the setup, and it seems to work. And I'm trying to keep a course of 090, and it's sort of, yeah, more or less, you know, I mean, better than I can do it. And it's a sunny day. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, Spanish time, UT -1, and I've passed the final TSS, the shipping lane in Portugal, and now hopefully I'm on a straight route to Tarifa, Spain. The weather's changed dramatically since yesterday, because as you know, yesterday and the day before it was just becalmed. But this is a bit rough, but good day for sailing. I'm going to keep this reef in on the mainsail and the Genoa for now. If it gets a bit calmer, and I'll let them loose, and we'll see how much we can fly. Time for porridge breakfast. Well, here we are, porridge with jam, last of the jam. Hopefully in a few days I'll be in port, I'll be able to get some more. Good morning. It's a bit cloudy. It was bright and breezy a moment ago, but now it's turned a bit yucky. I don't know what it's gonna be like. It's getting windier. I don't want to put a second reef in, but I might have to, we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my breakfast, and we'll see what's going to happen from there. Blustery days. Makes a change, eh? We have playful seas today, splashing over Carissa, splashing on me, playing their games. But all's well. I've had to fully reef all the sails. So from yesterday, from full sails, going half a knot, I'm fully reefed and I'm still doing 6 knots. What a difference a day makes, eh? It's about 11 o'clock and I've had 2 breakfasts and I've already eaten my lunch. I'm famished. I love that word, famished. So hopefully in the next few days I can get into port, because I have got a few tins of food left and I've got rice and stuff. But I really could do with something like, I don't know, something substantial. Something really substantial. Because it doesn't matter what I eat on board, it's not satisfying me, it's not filling me up, you know what I mean? Maybe I might get myself some meat or something like that. By the lean of the cooker, you can probably tell how heeled over Curacao is in this wind and sea. Can't get much cooking done like this. Thing is, it's gorgeous outside, gorgeous, very hot, but gorgeous, beautiful day. But I've had to put the full reefs in because the seas are just a bit wild and the wind is quite strong. But I'm still making about 5 knots. And I'm spending a bit of time inside. I've just had my lunch, meatballs and rice, and let's have a quick little look. What a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Look at the waves! Professional editing there. I don't edit my videos, I just shoot them. Now, as you can see, I think they're quite big. Not bigger than Curacao, but she is getting knocked about a bit. But I've got complete faith in Curacao. She's very seaworthy. Few leaks here and there. That's just because people didn't take care of her very well, I don't think, in the last years. I'm going to have a cup of coffee now. Just came back in. It's rough. The waves are massive. And just all over the place and following and slamming and all sorts, but it's okay. But it's sunny, you know, that's the thing. You think it's going to be stormy and gaily, and it's, nah. I've found in the vast experience I've got that some of the worst ones are when it's a beautiful day. But everything's knocking around, I know. I've got that open so I can see the compass, so I'm making sure that I'm on the right bearing. Anyway, so went out just to have a quick look about an hour and a half ago, and I saw a ship. Then I saw another one. Then I saw another one. Then I saw another one. There was 4 ships within my vicinity, all going in different directions. Oh fuck!
That's me coffee gone. Sorry I swore. Be back in a minute. Right, it's back again. Let's make another cup of coffee. So there was 4 ships, and so I had to make sure I had to avoid all of them and watch them out. Because, I mean, they do, obviously they're not trying to smash into you, but they don't really want to move too much, you know, out of their way, do they? So I did that, and then I had to reset the steering again, and then I've come back in and having a bit of a rest. But I think it's going to be a busy couple of days because I'm on the way to the Straits of Gibraltar, and there's lots of shipping, obviously. So yeah, busy few days. I think I've already, since about 8 o'clock this morning, I've done over 50 miles. It's the most I've ever done. I think yesterday was maybe, in total was about 50 miles, even though it was becalmed all day, but in the evening we did 20 miles. So that was 50 miles in 24 hours. This time I've done 50 miles in about 13 hours. So if I can keep on going this evening... Whoa! If I can keep on going this evening... Just making sure she brings herself back on course. If not, I'll be out again. So if I can keep myself going this evening without having to heave to, stop, then maybe I might make about 70. Okay. I'm trying to do too many things at once here. But just put herself back on course. Amazing, really. Build a bungee and I think I'll call him Cyril. Cyril or Cyril will be the other line. Cyril and build a bungee. And Cursia, obviously. Cardamom in me coffee. Just like that scene in Lawrence of Arabia. Well, yesterday was all balmy and stormy and lots of waves and fast and dangerous, and late last night and all night actually there was boats and ships everywhere. Once there was actually 8 around me. I didn't know what to do, so I just kept in a straight line, and thankfully they all missed me. Today it's gone hot and sunny again, and the wind's gone right down, and I'm 50 miles from the Straits of Gibraltar. I'm just hoping that the wind stays okay and I can make my approach. I'll probably have to make approach about 3 or 4 in the morning with the high tide, because at the high tide there's a current that goes east in. So we'll see. But at the meantime, I'm back to slight winds and almost calms. But let's be optimistic. Let's think that it's not going to happen again. I have to check the engine to make sure it works, and I have to check my pilotage to make sure I know how to get into the harbour. And I'll do that during the day. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. I've had my breakfast. I've had my lunch. And if I do get in, if it looks as though I'm going to get in tomorrow, I'll finish off the 2 tins of albondigas and the tin of sardines that I've got as a treat, because I deserve it. This is what happens when the wind gets light. This is what comes along. An absolute monster. A monster of a ship. I've had to change course about 40 degrees because he didn't move, of course, but big boys beat the small boys in this world. I don't know if you can see the land over there.
just as the sun's coming up. It's in the mist, but it's the hills of Tarifa. That's where I should be now. And the last 2 days we had a great sail. We covered lots of miles. And then guess what happened when I was 20 miles out? Yep, you guessed it. Becalmed. And dangerous, lots of shipping, straight to Gibraltar. I've had to turn around and try and make my way out. I tried to put the engine on. Guess what happened? Fire. Yep, little electrical fire on the starter, the dyno start. So, here I am, stuck out in the again. No food, no engine, no wind, nothing. But I've got a nice hat. Anyway, so I'm going to have a cup of coffee and I'm going to wait for the wind, and let's hope it comes soon, and before the ships start moving backwards and forwards. What can I say? What can I say? It happens every time. Every time there's something important. Like St. George's Channel, becalmed. Bay of Biscay, trying to get out, becalmed, then a storm. Baiona, becalmed for 3 days. But then the engine started. Here, I don't know. Anyway, no contacting anybody just yet. I hope everybody's okay. And I hope nobody sends out search parties again. So I left you and I was becalmed. Waiting to get in through the Straits of Gibraltar. What happened? Well, stayed calm all that night and all the next day, and I was weaving backwards and forwards, trying to keep out of the way of the boats, the big ships, and it was exhausting and dangerous. And so what did I do? Well, I decided to, because I wasn't getting anywhere, I decided to try for a port called Barbate, which is north on the Atlantic coast of Spain, but in the south. It's right next to Cabo de Trafalgar, where good old Nelson was. And but there was no wind, so what did I do? Well, I started the engine, and it started, and there was flames coming from it. And as you all know, the best way to put out a fire, especially electrical fire, is use your insole of your shoe. So that's what I did. Every time the fire spurted up, I just kept trying to rank hard, trying to start the engine, and it started. So off I went towards Barbate, which was a 4-hour motor ride. But I didn't have enough petrol, diesel get me there. I knew I didn't have enough diesel, but I was desperate, and so I kept praying that I'd get some wind. And about 2 hours into the trip, I got a trickle of wind. A trickle of wind came again, and of course, it was behind me, so you can't really feel it, but it's there. And so I was going along, and you don't realise that it's getting more powerful, and it's getting more powerful, and it's getting more powerful, because you can't really tell when the wind's behind you. And so when it was time to turn the engine back on, because I was getting close to the port, to the marina, and so I had to turn into the wind, and I nearly got blown off the boat, and all of the sails. Oh dear. And I ended up having a fight with the mainsail and the main sheet, and I came off worse. I am battered and bruised. It twisted all around me, the rope, and nearly I thought it was going to cut me in half.
I fell into it somehow. Anyway, so managed to sort that out, and then made my way with a fiery engine into the marina. And of course I've never took Chrissy into a marina before. You know, I've never come alongside apart from in Chris's boat and North Star, but I did it. I did it with the help from one of the guys who tied me up, but I did it. I didn't crash. And so here I am in Barbate. Yeah, I know it costs money to stay here, but my good friends, they pay for this, as they do for everything. And Barbate is fantastic. It's Andalusia at its finest. It's run down, a bit wild, a bit rough and ready. Lots of people singing Gitano songs. I love it. I've been here before. If I was going to live somewhere in Spain, it would be here. It looks like it's falling apart. Tomorrow I'll take you a little look around. I don't usually like, you know, making videos like that, but I'll show you some spots. Well, I'll show you some people. And the plan is I'm going to stay here for 2 days, recuperate myself, because I'm a bit bruised and battered, like I've said. And then hopefully the engine will start and get me out of the marina. And I'm going to head straight to Palma without stopping. So I'm going to stock up on all the food and water that I need here. And that's the idea. But for now I'm going to go to sleep, because it's been a very, very, very long few days. I hate them calms, but they teach you a lot about yourself. Well, good night's sleep. First full night I've had since 13th of July, is it? When I left the UK. Quite a while now. I should have been in Mallorca a while ago. Never get me to make your passage plan for you, okay? It's not a good idea. I'll take your boat for you somewhere, but don't expect me to tell you when it'll get there. Yesterday I said I was going to show you a bit of Barbate. So let's go. I thought I'd show you the nice parts first. Bit of park. Ayuntamiento. And of course, a nice church. Nice part of town. The thing about stopping for a rest for a couple of days, even though I had to, it wasn't really voluntary, is that your body just catches up with you and you realise how truly exhausted you are. I've been lying on my cama here for hours now, I just can't get up. My whole body aches. I went out yesterday to make some videos of the town, and I got the first little bit done, and I just had to come back. And this morning I had to go and get some fuel for the boat, for Carissa, and it was like a 4-mile walk, and then to carry 20 litres of diesel back in about 35 degrees of heat. Your body just catches up with you. Did have a nice shower and I had a little shave and made myself a little Mexican thing. I've got to go out because I've got to get the rest of the food. Even though I've run out of money again. Jesus. Sorry. And I couldn't get any paraffin for the cooker. So I've got a little bit, maybe last me a few days. Hopefully a week. And then after that I am on cold food. So it'll be cold tins, and I've bought some kind of like that bread stuff which, you know, doesn't go off, dry stuff. That'll be okay. Good thing is I've got plenty of water, which is free here at the marina. Doesn't taste great, but it's, you know, it's water. And sorry I'm lying down here. It's like I can't actually get up, and I have to get up because I have to go to the shop. Oh. And then tomorrow I'm off. I'm off tomorrow. I have had to stay an extra day here because I'm just exhausted. So I'm gonna try and make a couple of little videos of the town, but I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to, because really, tell you the truth, I just want to go there, get the food, and come back and try and sleep again. And then I'll get up early tomorrow morning and fix up Carissa, get her ready for sea, and then I'll be off. Wow. Okay. I'll speak soon. Well, here's Carissa. I'm trying to get myself out. Here's Carissa. Looks a bit of a mess, of course. She's a bit battered and bruised, but she's still there. Strong girl. I'm off for a walk now. Try and go into the shops. Don't know if you can hear the wind. The Costa del Luz is well known for its windiness and sending people crazy. So let's have a look. This is the Club Nautico. It's seen better days, hasn't it? Pero this is lo que hay. It's what we've got. You never know if it was like all good ideas about setting the place up as a great centre of sailing, or maybe it was one day and then it's all just fell apart. Gardens well kept. Of course, stinks of pee. But you know, my kind of town. And here we've got the caravan park, auto caravan park, right next to the marina. It's all very windswept. If you look in the distance, it's all wild, man. This coastline was once a kind of a hippie refuge, windsurfer, dropout kind of place, you know. You could come and lose yourself. And this is an old discotheque. And I remember from years ago, I don't think it's still open, but its heyday I think was in the 70s or the 80s or something like that. I mean, that's a long time ago, before I came. Can't remember when I was here, but lots of stuff going on in there. Oh, there was. Nowadays, who knows? But I do know that it's quite a special place. I'm walking into town. This Gaito de la Bahia. This place is actually open. I know it doesn't look it, but it is open. Tapa, ensaladilla and a beer, €2. En memoria de los 39 marineros desaparecidos en el naufragio del pesquero joven Alonso. So 50 years ago, 39 fishermen lost their lives, or they disappeared. Remember, the sea is a perilous place. I remember in the good old days, when I used to live in the mountains of Andalusia. We're talking about, I can't remember the year, late 90s, anyways, before September 11th, when the world changed. And it was just as the euro was coming in. We still had pesetas here in Spain. And I used to work as a gardener. And I used to make 5,000 pesetas a day, which was enough to survive on. Considering you could go into the cafe and you could get a tostada in Café con Leche for I think 150 pesetas. And at that time, especially in the mountains and outside the urban areas, you could say that the Spanish had a healthy disregard for authority. You know, you could ride around on your motorbike. I had a motorbike. You could ride around without your helmet. Well, you couldn't, but you did. Things like that, you know. The Guardia would pass through the village once a day, but didn't stop, and the one who did, lieutenant, who was always drunk anyway. Local police, well, they were local, they're from the village, they're not going to do anything. And it was peaceful anyway, you know, nobody did anything stupid. You always knew who the thieves were or who the troublemakers were, and they were always kept in their place. Spain was fantastic for me. The problem I found now is that they've become very European. All of Europe's become the same. It's all the same. And authority's taking over, and you can see with all this mask business, the Spanish are all wearing the masks. I thought if any place that people wouldn't bother wearing them would be here. But nah, everybody's wearing them. Working in the heat, running around, and I'm like, what the... You know? They've slowly worn the individualism of all of the countries into this lumpy mass of just people who are all the same. Of course, you still get, you know, I'm being generalizing here. But anyway, that's not what this channel's about, is it? I could go on forever about stuff like that, but you don't want to hear that kind of stuff. I have a history. Anyway, tomorrow I'm off towards the Gibraltar Straits. Wind doesn't seem very good, but we're going to go for it. And if I can get into the Med, that'll be another hurdle over. Weather forecast for the Med is calms, some wind. But, you know, as long as I'm heading east, I'll get there. Girls know I'm coming. Well, they've been knowing I'm coming for months. I miss everybody so much. But this has been and is and will be one of the big adventures of my life. And if I survive it, it'll be a platform to build another adventure on, whatever that may be. Because if anything, all we've got is our dreams and our adventures. And if you don't live them, then on your deathbed, when you're lying there, contemplating the things you didn't do, that you know you should have, well, that's what you call a bad death. So, live your dreams. Because you never know when it's your last day. And on that happy note, I'm going to have a cup of coffee, which I shouldn't do because I want to go to sleep. And then beddy buys. See you in the morning. Good morning. Seagulls are everywhere. Reminds me of the Birds, Alfred Hitchcock. Oops. Time for morning coffee.